What's up, EDH takers? It's your boy, Elijah Samuelson, and I'm here with the legendary
Spencer Cook. What's up, EDH Take crew?
New Year, new intro style. We're YouTubers now. This is like the first year, Spencer, of the podcast. That was like the Roman Empire of EDH Takes.
Okay.
And then we kind of dwindled a little bit, and then we fell into a dark age this last year. But no, this is like the EDH Takes Renaissance.
I see,
2024.
You're going to have a lot of sex.
Yes.
Nice.
Hopefully.
That's what the Renaissance is about, right? Being all... That's what I learned in school. That's what my teacher taught me.
Good.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're back. I hope you guys enjoyed our last episode. Came out at the end of last year. This is the first one of 2024. Good year so far for Commander because nothing has come out yet, right? No Commander sets.
Great
no
year
Magic
for
sets.
Commander. Terrible year for EDH Takes. I immediately got in a car crash on my brother's birthday.
Yep.
Spencer, you had a bit of a run-in with misfortune.
Yeah, I got laid off recently, so we're looking for a new job.
Which means we're full-time podcasters now.
Exactly.
Which is why we have catchphrases and slogans. How do you feel about EDH takers, Spencer?
I prefer EDH Takes Nation. What's up, EDH Takes Nation?
Like, because we gotta have like the name for our fan base. I was thinking like we could call them like fucking morons or something.
That's a pretty good one, yeah.
What's up, my freaking idiots?
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's up, losers? It's Chad from high school.
People who listen to this podcast are actually really smart people, so I don't mean that. It's just...
Yeah, I'm kind of referencing losers as everyone who doesn't listen to the podcast. Yeah. All those idiots. But, as the new year, as the precipice of the precession of the equinox is coming, I think one thing that I think would be fun, Eli, is if we give our predictions for this new year coming up, because God knows our next episode's probably going to come out in about December, so it'd be good to go over, whether we were right or wrong about all of these things that's going to happen.
That's a really clean, content lineup, I think.
Yeah.
Predict what's going to happen this year, be like, and then at the end of the year, were we right? No. Good episode.
Yep. But, yeah, so... do you have anything to say before we just get into it?
No, I just want to say, we've got a big old list of predictions that I think are mostly going to come true because we wouldn't lie to you. We wouldn't do that. And we know the Magic community, despite the fact that I did a social media kind of purge over the last few months.
A detox.
I've gotten back into a little bit. I made the agreement with myself. I can have Twitter on my computer so that I'm not constantly on it on my phone because doom scrolling is terrible for you. And I'm trying to form slightly healthier habits going into the end of last year, this year. So, we're a little bit out of touch, but I think the thing about the Magic community is a lot of these people, these personalities, I think they're pretty predictable.
Yeah.
And I think I've got that down to a science. I think I know exactly what's going on in their heads because I'm an empath, Spencer.
Yeah. And even in that sense, I feel like, to some degree, Wizards is predictable. They're always going to do the worst thing you can think. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But that is the kind of jaded perception, right? Of if you can think of it and it's bad, Wizards is going to do it, right? That's one way to look at things.
It's not far off sometimes.
So
sometimes they do things that we were not capable of imagining, but it makes for an interesting life.
I don't know who in their right mind predicted that they would start printing stickers and that they would be Commander legal cards.
Who would have predicted that when they sent their hired goons to that person's house that they would have let him live? I didn't see that coming.
The dude who... Oh, gosh. Yeah.
But anyways, should we just get into it, Spencer?
Sure. Can I go first, Eli?
Go ahead.
So, some context for this prediction. In 2022, I did a little bit of Scryfall searches, kind of a Scryfall god here, and we had 362 new commanders in 2022. And what that means is commanders that were first printed in that year. More specifically, cards that go in the command zone. So I believe in 2022 we had the what do you call them, the partnered with the enchantments that partnered with the commander.
Oh, the backgrounds.
The backgrounds, and that the backgrounds and the cards that have partner with a background or whatever, that's like 50 cards or something on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So that accounts for like, some percentage of the 362 that year. Last year in 2023, we had all of like the Doctor Who partners and all those things, right? And there were 398 new commanders last year. Okay, so in 2024, my prediction is going to be, we're not slowing down. We're going to have over 400 new commanders in this 2024 year. What do you think about that, Eli?
I think it's fairly likely, and I just realized that those Doctor Who commander decks probably account for several dozen commanders that I will just never be aware. I will never know what they do.
Yeah,
I've seen 2 maybe that I could remember, kind of.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like they do have to do some new like partner-ish mechanic like this for it to even approach 400 cards in this new year, because otherwise it's just not attainable. Already this is like an insane number, but like, if there's anything I can say about Wizards, it's they're going to find a way to print as many commanders as possible. Like, that just seems to be what they've been doing, and I'm sticking to that. Those are my guns I'm sticking to.
The Universes Beyond thing is something that lends itself really, really well to just having way too many legendary creatures.
Yeah.
So that's cool, because you really want to like fit the original characters in there, right? Like, you got to make sure all your favorite people show up in the product, right?
Yeah.
You can't leave anyone out, otherwise people be upset. They'd be like, where's so-and-so? Like, when am I going to get... Because, like, you can't very easily, like, revisit, like, Fallout, like, Commander again, like, a year after.
Yeah, or, like, they had to have multiple copies of, like, Aragorn and all the characters and stuff in Lord of the Rings.
True, that's actually a big one. Yeah, that's a really
big one from this last year.
Yeah, the idea of, like, making, like, 3 or more cards like per character to represent like different versions of the character throughout like
Gandalf,
a story.
The White, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Like, we're not getting the Marvel stuff next year, are we?
No, I think that's
or this year.
I don't think that's coming in this year.
Okay. Yeah, so it's possible that like lacking something similar to the Lord of the Rings set,
that it'll be smaller,
because the Lord of the Rings wasn't just the commander decks. It was like, that was a big part of it, but it was like within like the whole like standard. It's not standard legal, is it? I just mean like
I know what you mean, like
the full size set.
I don't know if it's standard legal or not. I don't think so.
We don't dabble in
Maybe
those realms.
Is. But the point is, yeah, like this year should not have nearly as many as last year, right? But they're going to do it somehow, and that's my prediction.
They will find a way.
All right, what you got, Eli? You got a cool prediction for us?
I'm going to move us into some Magic personality predictions. And it is my prediction just because this is something that maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm just like fighting ghosts at this point, but I predict that on the Command Zone podcast, they will be doing a set review, and they'll be covering the white cards. And at some point in the podcast, Jimmy will say something along the lines. He will say the phrase, "White will be playable soon with just a little bit more help." It's so close. He'll be like, "It's getting there." After they literally make like, they could make like a 4 mana like straight draw 3 cards in white. They could just like make white harmonize. They could make like better Esper Sentinel.
Yeah.
That just says like, it's just like Rhystic Study. Like,
yeah. Put your ramp spells too, and it's like, yeah, it's almost there, guys. Like, I think we see another couple sets.
They make Smothering Tithe too.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I've heard Jimmy say that in the past multiple times, and I think I can see where you're coming from here. I think there's a good shot at it.
I don't really listen to many of the set reviews lately because I kind of think I know what they're going to say about certain cards. Like, maybe sometimes I like to get Rachel's take on something or Josh's. Sometimes I like to listen to Command Zone set reviews just to hurt myself, just to hear that bit from Jimmy and just be like, why are you like this? But yeah, he has said this multiple times over the years, and I just think even going into 2024, the mono white bit it'll never stop.
Yeah.
Things will never change.
Well, now you have a reason to watch those episodes because you have to be looking for it.
Yeah, so everyone just be on the lookout for that. I'd recommend like just pay attention to like how how old Jimmy Wong talks about white in Commander.
Very base.
Because if there's one thing that Commander players love, it's to beat a dead horse. It's just tell the same joke 50 times.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
No.
I'm a comedy genius. But anyways.
Yeah.
What's your next prediction?
Okay, so now moving on for a second, we're going to talk about the ban list. And I think I got a little bit of a prediction here. I got two predictions in one here, okay? They're both about the ban list, okay? So, one of our favorite cards, Eli, Dockside Extortionist. And, big fan. Everyone loves that card. It makes for probably some of the best games of Commander I've ever played. Sarcasm intended. I think, obviously Dockside is not going to be banned. Because it hasn't been banned recently. I don't think it's going to be banned. But on that sense, like going even more on from that, I don't think any card that is legal right now in Commander, what I'm saying is a card that has been printed before 2024, is going to be banned. I don't think we're going to get any new bans of cards that we've seen before now. We could get a ban of a card that comes out in 2024. I can't predict that because I don't know if they're going to print some broken stuff.
Yeah, if they make like Loot Tree 2.
Yeah, but I don't think there's going to be any bans of any cards that are in the format now. And I mentioned Dockside because I think that's probably the most likely. But
speaking of that, I'm going to cut in one of my predictions that I had later on in the list. But I'm just going to come out and say Dockside Extortionist will never be banned at this point. We may have mentioned on a previous podcast, I'm not sure if we did, I made a bet with a friend last year about whether or not Dockside Extortionist would be banned by like the end of like the next year, or maybe it was even
2 years ago.
It was longer ago now, but I won the bet because there was a rules committee. They made a post about like the state of the format, and they mentioned Dockside in such a way that pretty much made it seem like it's never going to happen. And it wasn't quite to like the anniversary of our bet, but my friend, he just paid me out. He just gave me we bet like $5, so he just bought me like a booster pack, and I got a Merit Lage, the land that Dark Depths, and that. So good deal for me. So I'm willing to bet that it never gets banned at this point. So I will tell people, if you want to buy a Dockside, go ahead, buy a Dockside. It's never going to get banned. Nothing bad's ever going to happen to that.
Also, never feel bad about playing Dockside, because apparently that's what is considered fun.
It's a fair and balanced card. Dockside is only good for you if your opponents are doing degenerate things, like having 2 mana rocks in play.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Or like having like an enchantment and equipment out.
Yeah.
On like turn 6.
Yeah.
That's broken. They deserve to be Docksided if that happens, if they're doing that.
Yes.
In the eyes of the rules committee. That is how it is. So just, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good prediction, though, that nothing right now will be... Because, like, really, like, what is worse than Dockside right now? And if that's never going to get banned...
Yeah.
What could they ban?
I guess you could argue some dumb stuff, like, like Jewel Lotus, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring kind of stuff, but I don't think those are ever going to be banned either.
I think we are far enough into the Rule Zero pre-game conversation era of Commander where everyone has decided that the ban list is just like unnecessary.
Yeah.
Except for certain things. Except for like there's like cards already on the ban list that are just like stupid, that have like they add nothing to the game, or like they just like don't function right.
Yeah. Like physical dexterity cards or other stuff like that. Or,
one card that should be banned. Have you ever played against the card Thieves Auction?
I own a copy. I've played it.
That card should be banned.
So
I would ban.
That's the one with like the elephant or no, like the hot air balloon. No,
you're thinking of Illicit Auction.
Oh, okay.
Thieves Auction is a card where you take every permanent in play.
Oh, and you randomize them,
and you draft those cards.
Oh,
everyone goes around. They pick cards and then you get control of the things that you pick.
So that card's like Scrambleverse in a similar sense, I guess.
It takes longer to resolve. Well, depending on like what turn it is, of course, and like what's going on. But it takes longer to resolve than I think any other effect I've ever seen in a game of Magic.
Okay, can you say Illicit Auction's cool at least then?
That is a cool card. That's a fine card.
Thank you.
One's totally fine.
Cool hot air balloon or whatever. One more ban list thing. I think this is I'm much less confident about this. This is more of like a joke. Well, not really a joke, but it's a shot in the dark. I think they're gonna. I'm very very jaded when it comes to the rules committee. Well, not really. I generally trust them, but I think they're gonna unban something cringe, like Sway the Stars or something like that. That's just like maybe it doesn't need to be banned, but like unbanning it does nothing. Like when they unbanned Worldfire, and I'm not necessarily saying like that was like a bad or a good thing. I'm not really making a statement about that, but I don't know. I don't see why they would unban Worldfire and then like not like choose another dumb card to unban too, like at some point because they just feel like it. So my prediction is they're gonna unban something cringe, like Sway the Stars or something else. Okay, what you got, Eli? You got another cool one for me?
While we're on the topic of the rules committee, I'd like to predict, like we had a pretty big couple of shakeups last year with the addition of Jim and Olivia to the rules committee, and very sadly the passing of Sheldon Menery. I'd like to predict that we will get at least one new member on the rules committee, not the commander advisory group. Obviously that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like it's a very growing group. Like that's very,
they're adding a bunch of people to the commander advisory group that are I'm not saying anything bad about them, but they add a lot is what I'm trying to say. They add a lot of people.
And that's a group
that's the point, right?
Its purpose is to grow and like get a little bit larger and give like it's kind of like reaching out, like it's like a spider web, like they want to like have a larger sphere of influence. But the rules committee is usually
pretty
up
insulated.
until last year, like it's a very insulated. It's like it did not change that often. Like it was very much the same for many years. But I feel like this is going to be the year. There's going to be at least another rules committee member, and I think there was some controversy in the community several years ago, I think, about like the lack of diversity in the rules committee, and I'm thinking that they probably will add another woman to the rules committee with Olivia, which I think most people would see as a very good thing. Just like getting like more perspective, like maybe like some people of color or something, because like the complaint was like it's a whole bunch of like
it's a bunch of old white men.
So yeah. I'm thinking that I think it'd be a safe bet that they will add another member to the rules committee.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm excited to see who they do. If it's somebody that we know from like the community, because like before that it was mostly like old like
judges,
Magic judges,
right? Yeah.
And like a couple of Wizards employees, right? Like I don't know like their exact like backgrounds. Like I know the people kind of. But then adding like Jim and Olivia, like two Magic like content creators, like
young people too.
Yeah, younger and like from like the
content community,
like bringing them in.
Creation.
So I think that's an interesting thing to do. So I'd be interesting to see. I think it'd be interesting to see if they do that again. So
yeah, okay, I'm with you there. Okay, my next prediction is I think we're gonna see another 1/1 serialized card, because I feel like there's not really a good reason to do it. Like obviously there was a good reason, like, oh, the One Ring, get it, it's One Ring, right? But I feel like Wizards can't fucking help themselves, okay? And they have to like keep doing these like kind of publicity things. Maybe it would be the case that like after the success of the 1/1 ring being so like prominent in everything, maybe that like that actually like doesn't get another one until 2025 because of the way that like development cycles and stuff works. But I think there's a solid 30% chance that we get a 1/1 serialized card again this year, which see, if I say under 50%, no one can critique me if I'm wrong. So that, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we do it.
Yeah, that was big news for Magic.
Really big, yeah.
Year. So yeah, I think it'd be cool for them to do that again. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I wonder what they would do it of though this year.
Well, maybe a dog. Yeah. They like printing a lot of dog cards.
They love. Oh, Spencer, you should get the 1/1 dog card if it happens.
And then rip it up.
Nobody loves dogs more than Spencer Cook.
They are still doing. I don't know if you're aware of this. I think they're still doing like 1/500 and stuff like that, serialized cards. Like, at least they have done.
Oh
other
yeah,
sets
they
with
have
those.
been doing like the other serial, like the non 1/1. Like
yeah,
you're right.
And
they
like
do be doing that.
Maybe they'll just. I think they're gonna do that more, of course. But like, I don't know. What's the downside of doing another 1/1? I guess it cheapens the One Ring, but not really.
I guess really forcing your players to open 1 million packs like at the factory scene, like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you know, when they're digging through trying to get the there's not much downside in like getting like desperate like
fake hype,
addicted,
right? Yeah.
like Magic players to like dig through like a million packs hoping that they get the 1-of-1 ring that they can sell to Post Malone for
oh my god,
like
$2 million or whatever.
Crazy.
Oh my god, what if they literally do like a Charlie and Chocolate Factory kind of thing where
you get to go to Wizards
and
you get to watch like them
yeah.
lay off like 10% of their employees. Oh my god, that'd be fucking awesome.
Oh my god, you fucking eat the everlasting gobstopper. If you like take the cards there, you lose, and it's only
and
give it away.
Mark Rosewater fucking screams at you.
Yeah, the only way you end up getting the company is if you don't take the free Commander deck samples that they give you at the end. Oh my god, it'd be amazing.
You have to be pure of heart, which no Magic player could pass that.
Yeah,
I don't think.
You have to be benevolent. Well, okay, what you got, Eli?
Oh yeah, speaking of making crazy expensive cards, I'm thinking that this year we will see a new Dockside Extortionist power level card introduced into Commander, into the format.
Something on that level. Yeah,
and we were talking about this while we were making our notes. In the Lord of the Rings Commander decks, there's a card called Cavern Horde Dragon, which it's this dragon that costs 1 less for like each artifact. Like
I think it's your opponents have or something like that, or
yeah, it can potentially get really cheap, and then it's got like first strike, flying, haste, or it's got flying, haste, and
trample.
Some other
maybe?
Trample. And when it hits somebody, you create a treasure token for each artifact that player control. And this card is potentially like very few mana, so it's like
it's like double red, so it's like as low as 2 red, but more likely like it's 4 mana. So
it's
something.
A big creature, like potentially like mana positive, like maybe slightly less abusable than Dockside Extortionist, because obviously it's not like an enter the battlefield thing, but it's like inching like close to like being as strong as that. Like this card is only like last I checked like $9 or $10.
Yeah.
Which probably is partly because it was just in one of the Commander decks, and like I think the collector's boosters you could get it in.
And Eli and I were kind of discussing how we think this card compares to a card like Ancient Copper Dragon, right? Like
yeah, because that's one that was like
$50, $60,
like really expensive as like a mythic rare in Baldur's Gate.
And like it's not like a 6th as good as Ancient Copper Dragon. Like it's way better than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really come to a conclusion. I haven't played it yet. I don't really know exactly how to evaluate all these cards together. And I'm not even saying it's like Dockside level or whatever, but like it's interesting, right? Like we're getting push cards and stuff, so
yeah, and I just think Magic be creeping a little bit. Getting some stronger cards.
Do you think we've gotten a card that we would consider on Dockside's level since Dockside? It's a hard question to ask, right?
Yeah.
It's not a very exact question, because our other cards do good things in other ways. But I feel like Dockside's got to be one of the best cards printed in the last...
It's tough for me to tell, honestly, because there are many broken-seeming Commander cards that have come out in the last couple of years that I just, for some reason, I just don't see them. Like, maybe you could say, like, Orcish Bowmasters...
Yeah, that's like the easy to compare one, because they're both like 2 mana creatures, right?
I've just barely seen that card because I think there is.
I don't think it's as strong as Dockside. Personally.
There's like that social stigma that tends to go on. At least like maybe it's just because we've been playing like too much with just like friends and like been a bit too insulated lately. So maybe we should try and like get out in the wild more. I mean,
they make like a bunch of like dumb, like strong cards. Like a card that comes to my mind is just like it's not necessarily like the best example, but a card that comes to my mind is Displacer Kitten as just like a card that's just like
which
strong,
again is one that I haven't like. I was my friend Kingsley recently built a Simic Lands deck, and I asked him. I just popped into my head. I remembered the card Cultivator Colossus. You know that card, Spencer?
Yeah, I think so.
And just how like stupid broken that
one
card
like
seems.
Just puts lands into play, then lands into play, then lands.
Right? Yeah, you put a land from your hand into play, and then like you repeat the process and like draw a card. Like, and it is like 7 mana, but I'm like that card just seems like stupid strong, and I feel like I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's just like if it's the price point for some of these cards, but like Dockside Extortionist is a stupid expensive card, but I feel like
it's like the best
people
one, though.
People have that one. Like I don't know if it's just like got the reputation, like it's just got more publicity going for it. Like people just like know that it's good, or
yeah. So the point is here, I think our criteria for whether we're right about this will probably vary, and it'll probably be a feels thing. So, like, if we can just find, like, cards that are really good, we might just say that we were right. But I don't know. I'm kind of expecting another big shake-up card like that, though. They just seem to do it all the time.
This is the classic type of prediction that I like to make, where I win either way, because either I'm right or I get what I want.
Yeah.
Because I do not want another Dockside Extortionist level card in Commander.
Yeah.
But anyways, what do you got for us, Spencer?
All right. I'm gonna rapid fire 2 off for you here, okay? My 2 that I'm rapid firing are, I think we're getting a Magic character in Fortnite, okay? We got Naruto characters in Fortnite. We got Peter Griffin in Fortnite. I know there's, if you know the game Smite, there's Magic character skins in Smite. There's like a Liliana skin where like the splash art is just, it's very strange looking. It's just like a Liliana card. Like, it looks very odd.
They've got Garrick as like a
They have Garrick as a playable character as well too. Yeah. Well, not like Garrick. It's a skin. But the point is, okay, I think we're gonna get like I think we're gonna get Jace or Liliana or someone in Fortnite. Why not, right?
Hell yeah.
And then my other quick one I want to rattle off just because I got it right after there is, I think it's a pretty safe prediction here, but I think we're going to get Post Malone back on some sort of command zone, game nights, extra turn, something like that. We're going to get Post Malone back.
Yeah, I think
that's a pretty fair bet.
Josh is going to be like,
we have to.
We need you, Posty.
Something I did notice though is that, you know, the original Post Malone game nights episode, that is still the video that, like, the homepage video when you click on Command Zone on their YouTube channel, because they got to be like, look guys, we work with Post Malone, we're important, and
Josh is gonna reach out to him. He's gonna say the channel is dying. We only got 1,000 new subscribers this week. We need more. We're
gonna get Post Malone and like Jared Leto or something.
How are we supposed to afford Jimmy's lifestyle? But yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet. I mean, he's a busy guy, but he was on a lot of smaller Commander gameplay channels, wasn't he? Like Tabletop Jocks, like he showed up on that. He showed up, did he do anything with the Pref? I don't think he was on a Shuffle Up and Play.
I don't think so, but I think he does, for my seeing things, he does really love Commander.
Yeah.
Like he, I think what they said, like, I think, was it like Murph and it was like, oh yeah, I love playing, like they just like played games with him one time or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I saw him on I saw a clip of Post Malone on like Joe Rogan or some podcast or something where he was talking about
trying to explain Magic to him.
He's like, yeah, Magic is like the best game ever.
Joe Rogan on game nights. Do you think he'd play Monkey Tribal?
No, I don't think so. Oh, because that's like the meme.
Yeah, he loves monkeys.
Oh my god. Okay, what you got, Eli? What you got?
You know, nobody cares about Post Malone coming on to the Command Zone, coming on game nights. What people really want, what people want to see, they want to see the Scry babies on the Command Zone. Or extra turns, or, you know, like game nights, whatever they can get. Like, but there's the most up and coming Magic content creator, like, channel, like that, like in the whole like sphere right now. Like they came out of nowhere, they came out of left field with they put out, like, they had everyone super excited with like a year of advertising for this, and everyone's like waiting, like what's it going to be, like what are they going to do, like, you know, they had some like YouTube shorts and stuff. They came out like fast and hard. Like, man, how many subs they got now? Like fucking 1 million probably.
I think they got like 10,000 subs very quickly. But yeah, Eli, you were alluding to this before. Eli and I were kind of.
Yeah, I want to shout out the Scry babies here.
It was
Gloria the Vast, Lewis Stardust, 18,000 subscribers.
So the lore here, for those of you who don't know, is they started at the start of 2023. So they started making Commander gameplay, and Eli and I found them on Twitter like in, I don't know, November or September of 2022, and they were like, "Yo, we're a new Scry Baby's coming out, guys. It's happening." And it was like, it was never happening.
They had like the whole link tree. They had like
they had the Patreon set up, you know.
They had more set up before even like being a channel than we have in like 3 years. Like I am borderline impressed. Like they just like had everything. It was so hyped up.
They were selling merch and like playmats before their first episode.
Yeah, they had like the Patreon set up and everything. Like, man, it was like they've got so much ambition. Like I really got like it sounds like we're making fun of them, but like that's really kind of impressive. And so but yeah, I predict that like because they're very good at networking too. Like they had I think they had Rachel Weeks on actually, and like Lady Danger. Yeah,
I think they're like associated with the Spiked Feeders too.
Yeah, they're friendly with so many people. Like they've cross collaborated with like a lot of stuff. Really, like I've always thought, Spencer, that we're kind of like the Scry Babies of Commander podcasts.
Yeah,
anyway,
I see.
Because there's two of us.
No, I get you. And because we cry about things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking a pretty safe bet. I think that you're gonna see them on an extra turns. Maybe not a full on like game nights, but I could see an extra turns.
Yeah.
They gotta ease into it.
Okay, I got a good prediction here, okay? All right. So this is a big prediction, guys, okay? I know we were talking all about how like the Scry Babies are on the up and up and stuff like that, right? But I predict that this year will be the year of the Commander gameplay crash. And what I mean by that is I think that dozens of Commander gameplay channels will start to lose viewership and die, only for the top dogs to reign supreme, and people will still watch. I think there's an oversaturation of the market of Commander gameplay videos, because most Commander gameplay is just not very good. It just sucks, okay? And it's hard to make, too. It takes a lot of effort to make Commander gameplay content, and there's too much of it, and everyone is like starting a channel, and they're all gonna crash and burn. That's my prediction. Boom.
And from the ashes of the Commander gameplay crash will rise like the phoenix, the EDHTakes gameplay.
Exactly.
Which I am now announcing on Spencer's behalf.
No.
For this year.
Bro, what's required to make a Commander gameplay series is like hundreds of dollars of equipment and like tens of hours of effort of like editing. I mean, maybe not quite that much, but like it takes a lot of work.
I wouldn't say we could just not. We could just make like the worst looking thing possible. We could record it on a phone, no audio quality.
We still need like a mount, like a.
We have Jesse.
Oh my god! Have you seen? Do you guys know who MTG Young Mage is?
They do. Of course they do.
You guys know MTG Young Mage, of course. Welcome, Young Mage. Yeah, that's my favorite. My boy Rhino. Okay. He back during the pandemic, so like 3-4 years ago, Rhino made a video about how to make like a camera mount. I think he used to have like a Lego one.
Yeah, out of Legos. So
he made like a camera mount.
We got a bin of Legos over there.
So like we gotta check out MTG Young Mage and get the scoop on how to make a.
We can make a whole studio out of Legos.
Exactly. Anyway, if you don't know all the Young Mage memes, go check them out. He's a wholesome guy.
Everybody knows the Young Mage.
Yeah.
If they don't know the Young Mage, they know the Papa Mage.
Yeah.
It's just household names.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a good. Because like I think it was Murph from the Command Zone tweeting about how he believed a similar thing to this, that like it's not worth the effort to make Commander gameplay, and there's just like too much of it, and like it's not a good starting point for a channel, because like you said, it's so much effort for like potentially so little reward, because like if your quality is not like up to snuff, people just aren't going to watch it. And like you need to have something that makes you stand out. Like you've got to have like good charisma with the player, like good commentary, like you've got to like find your niche, like you got to do it somewhat differently.
It's much more easy to just make like a video with voiceover, or like a something on like a Magic Online, or like a YouTube Shorts or something. Like it's just a lot easier, and probably going to give you the same amount of like interaction, or even more than a gameplay series, at least compared to how hard it is to make. You also have to have like good guests, and you have to be funny yourself, like live. Like when you're like recording something, you can just kind of like do it over again, or script it and be funny or entertaining. Whereas when you're playing Commander, it's actually just you, so you get to feel all like self-conscious about like how you're actually, when you don't get views, you're like, actually it's because I'm unfunny and a terrible person, and I'm nothing, I don't matter, and nothing I do ever works, and why do I even try? And never mind, guys, sorry, I didn't mean to start ranting about my own inadequacies. But anyway, Eli, what kind of things you got to talk about?
Speaking of Murph, I'm betting that in this year, we see a new addition to the Command Zone team. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping that they hire another Josh Murphy, and then Josh Lee Kwai goes up to Murph, and he's like, actually, you had to be Murph because your name is Josh. Now you have to be something else because this is Murph now. This is the new Murph. And then like
what would Murph be now?
They call him like Glip Glorp or something. They call him like Creature. Like they give him like he has no name.
Yeah, that's big.
Josh is just whipping it into him.
Call him the Olden One.
Whatever his middle name is, like
yeah. It's fucked up that Murph couldn't be Josh because they already had a Josh.
They just completely rob him of all of his identity.
Yeah.
That'd be a great arc, I think. It'd be exciting though. Like this last year, like I think was the official move of Rachel to the Command Zone, which great, honestly, big upgrade. I think my new favorite dynamic is Rachel and anyone other than Jimmy. I think is a good pairing.
Yeah.
Rachel Josh, pretty good.
Pretty A tier.
Rachel Murph, I listened to one recently if they were talking about the old commanders. Pretty good. Rachel Jamie's a good one. We really need to do this Magic personalities tier list at some point because Rachel, like, she is very powerful. Like, she's got very high charisma, like, very funny person, like, great insights. But, you know, some people, it's just kind of like oil and water. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like, it's kind of like Jimmy and, like, anyone else. Except for maybe Josh, because I think Josh just, like, he's like he's a conversation, like, bulldozer. He'll just, like, go through Jimmy. Like anyone else,
Josh
like having a conversation,
can kind of wrangle Jimmy in.
Yeah, like he knows how to like maneuver with like Jimmy. But this is very rude and mean. But like Jimmy's not that bad. You know, just
yeah. No, I get you. I think maybe this is not an actual prediction, but I'm predicting because all of the women on EDHTakes, on Command Zone have been leaving over the last year or two. We've seen. Shauna Gillis, Lady Danger,
Ashlyn
Rose all left
a long time ago.
So now we only have one female person in the Command Zone left. Maybe she's going to leave too, Eli. Maybe they'll be left alone as a...
I think, Rachel, the invitation stands. You're welcome to join EDHTakes.
We've got a spot open. If Eli will kick me out.
Yeah, like I'll kick myself out.
Yeah,
we'll just have Rachel do it.
We could both leave and then just have Rachel take over the channel
and do it by herself.
Yeah, you could do it. Anyway, that I wonder what's going on there. I'm just saying, why are all the women leaving?
Yeah, it's awfully strange.
Awfully strange. Curious. No implication there, absolutely whatsoever. So why don't you hit us another one, Eli? Give us another one here.
Yeah, I would like to predict. Speaking of Magic personalities, we've got perhaps one of our favorites, Pleasant Kenobi, known for being a little rough around the edges sometimes on the social media, being a bit of a bully to Shivam and other people sometimes. I predict that he's going to get in a big fight with somebody this year. Because wow. I want to see the fight. I want to see the drama.
That's a crazy prediction, Eli.
I think it's going to happen.
Kenobi arguing and fighting with people on Twitter.
Him and Dana Roach, they went at it in this last year. I think it might have been, maybe it was just around the time, or maybe it was related to when there was that collector oof story, Spencer. You remember this one about the big like controversy about that? And it was man, I felt so bad for this person because
they were just expressing that they were getting a little bit unhappy with how it game played out.
They just had a bad experience, and it turned into everyone really misrepresenting what they were saying
and just debating their ability to like their validity of being a little bit sad at the game.
It really turned into people thinking like, "Wow, this person is saying like Collector Roof should be banned because they don't play interaction in their commander deck. They don't. It dies to removal." And then like Pleasant Kenobi literally coming at this person and being like, "Did you try removing it?
Oi, mate, did you try taking the creature and putting it in the graveyard?"
It's like, oh, man, I wonder if that occurred to them.
Oh, thank you.
Really, though, could any other, like, white, cis male in the Magic community be that condescending to anyone and get away and, like, not get fucking shit on by, like, everyone? Like,
You're just allowed to be 10 times as mean if you're British.
Well, if you're friends with a bunch of other Magic content creators,
yeah.
if you're best buddies with Brian, I guess, like,
Yeah.
you know, you can just talk to people however you want, like, because he doesn't mean it. He's not actually like that in real life, surely, like, but I've never seen any evidence to the contrary of him, like, being, like, a decent person. Like, I don't know, man. He just rubs us the wrong way, man. I'm sure he's not actually that bad, but, like, what is the upside to just being a dick to people as, like, your persona, as, like, your brand? Like, I just don't, like, I mean, I guess we've kind of got that, but,
a little bit,
but we don't have friends, so we don't have a standard to be held to.
and we just do it here on our podcast. We don't go and yell at people online. Well, we should though. We should go on Twitter and bully everybody.
Yeah, we don't use the Twitter account.
At least we're honest.
And not yet. We don't. We should, dude. It should be us. We should burn the bridge with Pleasant Grove.
Oh my god,
officially.
we could get in the fight.
We should get him to block us on Twitter.
Yes,
That'd be our goal. Be pretty easy.
Should make a bunch of alt accounts too.
I think it would take us like saying like 2 borderline rude things to him for him to block us on Twitter.
Guys, we could get like our whole fan base to bully him. He might feel a light breeze.
I think he would. I think he's done the thing before of like. It's kind of a controversial because like it does fall on like the category of like kind of like the cry bullying thing, but like I think he is willing to like quote retweet like much like smaller people like to like dunk on them, which like he's like gotten kind of in trouble for before.
Mm-hmm.
But then it kind of comes in the thing too of like if you started it, like, you
yeah,
know.
like if we started shit talking Pleasant Kenobi, like we're definitely not doing right now. Like if he were to tweet and be like, "Hey, fuck these guys," like we're kind of asking for it, right? Like we can't be like, "Oh my god, he platformed
Look, everyone, we were right,
look, guys. Look,
he's a bully."
As he, you know, like, yeah, you can't really. I mean, you could argue this, right? But you can't really complain when somebody like with a big platform like kind of bites back after you're fighting them, right? Like, so if Pleasant Kenobi were to like defend himself and kind of come at us, like, we can't really be like, "Oh no, he's got fans. We weren't. We were innocent." You know,
if anything, that could like start like the friendship arc. That could, dude, that's another prediction. Either he burns all the bridges, or this is crazy, Pleasant Kenobi redemption arc.
Oh my god, starts being a genuine nice person online.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah,
I think there's a chance.
Wow.
Anyways, do you have any other thoughts on the Pleasant Kenobi?
We're such haters, Eli.
I just think, well, he's a hater.
Yeah.
He's just, how can you be mean to, how can you bully Shivam? Like,
Yeah.
how can, that's really
well,
like.
I could see bullying Dana, though.
Yeah, Dana, like, definitely, like, also has, like, a pretty abrasive personality online. So, like, them fighting, I think was kind of just, like, an inevitability.
Water
like,
and fire, right?
It was
like,
just them, like, both being engaged in, like, the same discourse at the same time. And, yeah, it was going to happen. But anyways, yeah, I think that's most of our things so far. Let's move into our next section of predictions.
all right, I got a good one. Okay, so we talked a little bit about Tabletop Jocks earlier, right? You know, big Commander podcast, or sorry, Commander gameplay channel, and honestly, probably one of the biggest ones, right? Like they have a lot of big names. A lot of viewers, kind of grew pretty large pretty quick. But Joe Johnson has been known to have some controversy in the past. When he split up from Michael David Lynch, and there was some controversy involving Joe being a little bit, rude towards commenters or people in the Discord, being a bit toxic,
a little bit abrasive. Yeah.
And he has since he's done some apologies and stuff like that. It's kind of gotten brought up again. He's apologized again for pretty much the old things. But my prediction is we're going to get another Joe Johnson controversy. It's going to happen. Joe's going to do something else bad, and he's going to get people to be mad at him. That's my prediction here. What do you think, Eli? What are the odds of a Joe Johnson controversy?
I think it would be kind of funny if, because the last, like, controversy was kind of just on the EDH subreddit, people being like,
"Hey, remember him?
How do you guys feel about Joe Johnson? Like, did he do some stuff? Like, he kind of rubs me the wrong way." And then, like, it was just like a circle jerk post of everyone being talking about the things that he had done, and like he hadn't done anything new. It was just everyone like bringing up every bad thing he had ever done or supposedly done, and then like
that prompted him to make an apology video.
Yeah, like really stirring some stuff up and like bringing up like old shit, and then he like responded to it. Yeah, so it would be really funny if if like nothing new happened and the exact same thing just happened again. Honestly, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Tabletop Jocks or like I Hate Your Deck before that. I don't think Joe did anything that bad. I think being abrasive and like a dick to your the people commenting on your channel or like your fans, or like just being like rude in like Commander games, I don't think that's really worth like being
No, like, you can just
canceled over.
Like, you're allowed to be a dick, right? Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing or the best thing, but like you're allowed to be a dick and exist.
I may be misremembering, but I think in his apology he talked about like trying to get past like some of his issues with like anger, and like he was like maybe like going to therapy or something and like working on some stuff which I think would be a good course of action for most Commander players. So I'd like to see, not that Joe Johnston needs one, but I'd like to see like a super, like not like a redemption arc, but like a Joe Johnston like Victor, like this is like his year, like he's gonna do something like amazing,
like he's gonna be one of the Commander content creators that doesn't fall to the wayside. He's gonna have Barack Obama on his podcast or on his channel, and they're gonna play Commander.
Joe Johnson on the rules committee.
Yo, it's possible.
Let's see it.
Let's have it happen. Also, I got another one here. Speaking about some other Commander content creators, I think the iconic, we're going to have the reunion of Joe Cherries and Beezers.
Yeah, well, he's going to get old Beezus back, and they're going to say, he's going to say to his girlfriend, he's going to say, hit the curb, I don't need you no more.
Yeah, I just need Beezal.
Yeah, he's going to get Beezy on there, and...
they're going to come back.
Oh, Beezy he's the one he's on there right now.
Oh, well,
Joe Cherries, he's the other one.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about these people.
Yeah, I really don't follow.
We know that they broke up, and some people like their channel, the Nitpicking Nerds. Reunion.
Yeah, it's happening.
Make peace.
They're coming. I think it was just creative differences is what they cited. So
they hate each other.
That's the headcanon?
Joe Cherries, he killed Beezer's dog.
Oh my god.
Something like that. It was bad. Lots of bad blood. It was like worse than the I Hate Your Deck thing. Honestly.
I
think Beezy was
worse than
he was making some of the people on their gameplay, like he was making them film nude scenes.
Oh, like Lynch.
Yeah, except he was doing like was going further.
But like illegal, like
yeah, he was they shouldn't
like they were underage too.
Whoa. Holy shit. I can't believe he did that.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
I hope they get back to. I hope that Joe Cherries can forgive Beezy for that.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool because he didn't do anything wrong.
True.
Yeah, it was really overblown. So yeah, if they could get back together. But anyways, that's too much nice stuff. You know, I'm thinking you talk about a reunion here. I think there's going to be a big breakup. I think the Spike Feeders, they're finally going to cut ties with Spike Feeder Alex.
He's now just going to be Commander player Alex.
I think they're going to cut him loose. I think they're going to say you're a bunch of dead weight, Alex. We don't freaking need you
Spike
anymore.
Feeder Alex, more like Bottom Feeder Alex.
You've been sucking up all the floaters on the bottom of our tank for too long, Alex.
This is pretty much...
They don't need... He's a liar, what he is.
What do you lie about?
He lied about everything he ever said on that Boros podcast.
That's true.
Every word out of his mouth was... He didn't believe that.
There's because there's two possibilities. One is that he was lying about everything he said about Boros, and the other one is that he actually believed that stuff. And which one's more likely, right?
Yeah, if anyone hasn't listened to this, I believe it was the Playing with Power podcast, where they typically would discuss CEDH, but on this episode, they were mostly just discussing Boros in EDH, like casual EDH. Like, they talked a little bit of CEDH, but they were talking about like what Boros needs. And this was a few years ago now. This is an EDHTakes like deep meme.
This was like right after Modern Horizons 2 came out.
Yes, and they had just done the God, what is that terrible mechanic that
the counters on the
modular.
That was like the limited theme.
Yep, that was the theme for the Boros.
Yep.
And yeah, he said something along the lines of how this is a really good mechanic. This is really interesting, like cool new thing for Boros that's gonna like somehow fix any of the problems that people say there are with Boros.
Yeah.
And man, I don't think you could pick a worse mechanic for that.
Exactly.
Personally.
That's just a personal opinion.
Bad situational +1/+1 counter mechanic.
When your things die, yeah.
I feel like if anyone else, like if that wasn't like a modern set, like, you know, because like that and that was the limited like design was the modular.
Like there weren't really any like pushed rares that did that really.
I think if they made a Boros like commander precon and the theme was modular, and there wasn't like a commander that was like whenever you like move a +1/+1 counter onto a thing, like draw a card or like mana ramp in some way, I think people would say, man, this was a really stupid idea. This is literally worse than Kalemne. Like,
yeah, I think I might have to modulate myself and give you my +1/+1 counters, Eli, if I would have to play that deck, if you know what I'm saying.
So yeah, Alex, I just
that's a vague way of eluding at self-harm, by the way.
Due to that episode, and this is many years ago at this point, so maybe he's reformed. I'm not sure.
Alex is leaving.
He declared himself enemy of the show, enemy of EDHTakes.
Yep.
So I think, you know, I always see, this definitely isn't how it is, but I see Jim as the leader of the Spike Feeders. He's on the rules committee. He was on the CAG before that. Like, he's like 7 feet tall, super charismatic, super smart guy.
Giga Chad.
Of course he's the leader, right? It wouldn't make sense any other way.
He probably watches like alpha male affirmations, you know, because he's just that kind of.
He doesn't need him. He looks in the mirror and he talks to himself, and
he says, "You can do it today, buddy."
And he can. He gets everything he wants in life because he's just that handsome and smart.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got to look at Alex and be like, "Why would I ever be seen with you? You lessen me,
you Spike Feeder." But anyway,
yeah. Anyways, if the Spike Feeders, if they're listening to this, if they want to send me some of those really big 6-sided dice, that'd be cool. Alex, if you have any extras of those,
yeah, Alex, please, if you want to hit me up.
Yeah, you don't need them anymore. You don't want to be reminded of what you used to have.
All right. My next prediction is that, if you guys remember Wedge, you know who that is? I don't know. I wonder if our viewers even know who Wedge is. Because Wedge is like
the old mana source.
Yeah. He used to make videos like 10 years ago.
He was like one of the big three.
Yeah.
Like they had the Professor, they had Wedge, and they had the Command Zone.
Yeah.
Those were like the 3 big Magic channels.
Anyway, Wedge like disappeared for like 5 years and like had health concerns or something and like had like a big Kickstarter and like went to like England or moved to England or something.
There's many conspiracies floating around about Wedge from the Mana Source. I would, if you want to do your own research, I would say be very careful because the people who really don't like Wedge are very invested in making people also hate Wedge, and they will make like 1,000 videos. Do you know who MTG Lion is?
Yeah,
Spencer. That guy is. He is a word that I shouldn't say. He is not well.
He's a lion, actually.
He is Lion.
Oh, okay.
Because he's made like 100 videos on like the Wedge, and if you've ever watched one of this guy's, I'm ashamed to admit that I've watched multiple of this guy's videos. He will make a 10-minute video where he says nothing. He'll give it like some like clickbait title of being like Wedge from the Mana Source stole a bunch of money.
Wait. MTG Lion is the guy that makes all the videos of cheater caught in Magic tournament. He's got like 40 videos about that.
Yeah, and he'll make the entire video, and it's just him like rambling over and not saying anything. And he'll like the entire like 10-minute video will have like 30 seconds of actual content in it.
Based.
Yeah,
we should do that.
So yeah, I think Wedge, he reappeared last year. He made like 1 or 2 videos. He made a video about Boros. I remember him putting that out. Good video, cool video. He made that in like 1 other video.
And then he hasn't made anything.
He just disappeared again.
It's been like 4 or 5 months or something since his last video, I think. So my prediction here, guys, is that Wedge will make a YouTube video this year. I know, pretty crazy prediction, pretty unlikely, but I think it's possible. I think it's possible Wedge might make a video.
Yeah, he put out like 3 videos last year.
Yeah, so that's
actually, maybe he put out way more than that. Never mind. He put out quite a few, actually, but he just like stopped after March of the Machine.
So it sounds like he put out like 5 or 10 or something videos in the course of a couple months.
Man, he put out more than he just up and disappeared after that, though, I think.
Yeah. Huh. Looks like they didn't get crazy views, like around 10K each or something. Is that what that looks like? Yeah. But, I feel like Wedge will make one video. That's all I'm asking from him. All right, what you got, Eli? What you got? Some cool memes to share?
Oh God.
Anyone you want. You can go to a different one instead of that one you're looking at.
Well, we were talking about the Spike Feeder Alex thing earlier on the Boros podcast. It's like, does he actually believe these things, or is
he lying?
Is he lying, or is he? I don't want to
playing
say
it up.
I don't want to say
troll?
Stupid, but maybe a bit misled. Maybe he's misinformed. I'd like to discuss Crim from MTG Goldfish Commander Clash. Now, I've listened to a decent amount of Commander Clash podcasts. I really like their podcasts because they have good topics, and they have 4 guys that have oftentimes wildly different opinions on things. And they discuss those opinions very well for the most part. And I can see their perspectives. At least I try.
Mm-hmm.
Because Crim, he has said some things. And I know that he has the personality of, he's trying to, troll, he likes to be a bit of a troll. But he says some things that I can't believe he believes them.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe that he genuinely thinks Sword of Body and Mind
is the best sword, or one of the best
is a good sword. I don't want to believe that he thinks making your opponents discard a card doesn't matter that
or
much.
Is an upside to them.
Yeah. I
don't want to believe that he thinks that red curse card.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that he thinks that a red curse just means kill target player,
and that it's a powerful card. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah, but
you got any Crim takes that have just baffled you, Spencer?
Trying to think back. Curse of Hospitality?
Yeah, that's the one.
This is the one. Trying to think back because it's been a long time. Yeah, that one you were talking about when you said discarding card, that one really fucking blew my mind because that was
card Siphon Mind.
Siphon Mind. They did a card draw tier list, rating card draw spells, and everyone except for Crim gave Siphon Mind an A, or I think Saffron Olive gave it an S, and the other 2 gave it an A, and Crim gave it a C. I think maybe he wanted to give it a D or something. He thinks that it's an actively bad card, and it's just from my perspective, it's one of my favorite card draw spells.
I mean, in
game.
a 4-player commander game, in an average commander game, assuming all your opponents are alive, draw 3 cards. Each opponent discards a card.
It's a crazy amount.
It's what we call a 6-for-1
mm-hmm.
for 4 mana. What other 6-for-1s do you get for 4 mana aside from maybe a well-timed Wrath of God?
Yeah, Decimate's a 4-for-1. Right?
Yeah, and that's considered. I'd say it's quite good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with a 4-for-1. So a 6-for-1 and yeah, I'm with you. Very, very good card. I should play it more.
And Crim being they're discarding their worst card. Or he's being they're discarding, you're helping them reanimate their creature. And it's Crim, you don't understand, bro. If I have 2 lands in my hand and I discard a land, I might miss a fucking land drop, dude. Or I discard my worst card. It's still a fucking good card, dude. My worst cards are cards that I like, and cards that are in my deck, and cards that I'm trying to play. I don't have infinite cards, bro. Ah! It's okay, sorry.
Or with the Sword of Body in mind, making the... you know how you mill your opponent 10 cards and making the I like to call it the commander replay argument of looking at what you milled and being oh, did I hit anything good in there?
Yeah.
And Crim saying oh yeah, you could mill their combo pieces.
Oh.
As if
As if it wasn't easier for them to have them after they're milled, right?
Or you're just as likely to like mill them to good cards. Like it's random. Like it doesn't.
Yeah. The combo piece has an equally likely chance being, in the first 10 cards as the next 10 cards.
So, anyways, what I would like, my prediction is I predict that Krim will just come out and like he's honest about like his troll. I believe that he says some things knowing that he's just trying to get a rise out of people. But I think he'll come out and he'll have like a whole different like look and a whole different like he'll like speak differently and he'll be like, yeah, that was a bit the whole time. All you guys who believe that was actually me, you're idiots. I got you. Get trolled.
What was the you have been trolled for the
he's gonna do the
rolling and trolling video.
Yeah.
But that's a good opinion, Eli. That's a good prediction because I can't believe that it's genuine. It's more likely that it's a troll.
I have to believe.
I have to for my own sanity. Yeah. Like it's not like it's just for me to go on living in this world. I have to believe that. Yeah. For some, I just like I don't know if I think I'm right in saying this. His job is to be a Commander content creator, right? Like full time.
He does other Magic format,
like but whatever Magic, right? Like I don't get it, man. Okay, so I'm done. I'm letting that one hang. I'll give you the next one, okay? On that end of like people with kind of weird views on Magic in some sense, I want to talk about CEDH. I'm just kidding. That was what we call in the business a little bit of shock jock humor. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of shock jock comedy.
This is the bullying special.
Yeah. So CEDH is a very interesting microcosm of Commander. And one thing that is not unique to CEDH, but I feel is a little bit more prevalent in the CEDH community for how large it is, like compared, like the ratio of how large it is.
Oh, like proportionately
is the amount of like controversies at like events and stuff. And maybe that's just because there's more competitive Commander events than there are like other events. But I feel like every couple months, every, half a year or so, we get some sort of large controversy when it comes to CEDH events. So either some sexual misconduct, other forms of like gender or sex-based misconduct, like, about people's like identities, cheating, use of slurs.
We got the tale of bad dog.
Yeah, he
was a bad dog.
He was a bad dog. There's no good dog, though, Eli. The only good dog is a dead dog. Okay, that's a little far, my bad. But, I know this isn't necessarily CEDH, but I think competitive Magic in general, maybe, like... And when I say competitive Magic, I don't mean, like Pro Tours and stuff, but, like, what I will call competitive casual Magic. So I consider CEDH competitive casual, because it's not, like, a real competitive scene, I would say. I consider, like... You remember CubeCon, Eli? I consider that competitive casual.
Oh, sure, yeah.
There was that big CubeCon controversy, and I think that we're going to get some big CEDH event. Yeah,
because we got at least 2 last year, right?
So
Strange that it happened twice.
So I'm going to give you an over-under, Eli, okay? So, like, you're going to have to vote for... So I give you a number, and you have to predict whether it'll be under or over that number, okay? I'm going to say 5 of these kinds of things, like I was saying earlier: sexual misconduct, cheating, slurs, a big controversy that blows up on Twitter, other sort of discrimination or like bigotry, or one of the ones that I think is pretty common is people blowing up and getting really mad and being like an overall dick at like the table over like their opponent, like their perception of an opponent's misplay. They're like, I lost because my opponents were stupid, and they like make a big deal out of it.
You're right. The format and the community for it is getting larger, so that invites more potential issues. But at the same time, I think they've got to be getting better at cultivating a healthier community and like doing a healthy level of, I guess, would you call it like gatekeeping, as in like, you can use that in like a positive way, like keeping like certain behaviors and like certain types of personalities like out of your community, like people like Bad Dog.
It's probably okay to gatekeep people who are going to be like deviants.
I think I'm going to predict less than 5.
Less than 5.
yet again,
More than one, though.
I'm creating the situation where I win either way, because if there's more than 5, I'm sorry for the people involved, any potential victims, but
it is funny.
Man, do I love some drama.
Yeah.
And CEDH players are very fascinating to me, so man, I'm hoping less than 5.
Okay.
Seriously, I think there should be
just for the fun. I'll vote above 5 for the wild card pick.
We'll have to revisit this at the end of the year. We'll have to see who won the most, who got the most predictions.
Everyone, keep count of how many CEDH related controversies you can find. And specifically at events, like just a players arguing online doesn't count. All right, Eli, what you got?
We got one last one here. I'm going to predict that it finally happens, that we finally get the recognition we deserve, and we get EDHTakes on the Commander Advisory Group.
Right after we predict like sexual misconduct in the Magic community.
Well, that's why they need us, because like
we're the only people who can see it coming.
Who else is going to warn people?
Yeah.
Like it's just going to keep happening if they keep ignoring us.
I don't know if you guys understand, but like I have like a sensor in my mind. Like I can tell. Like I've got like a beeper that goes off when something like that's going to happen, and I'm like, I can tell. Boom, you're about to do it. Stop. So that's why I'm like, this community, it's happening.
Predicting that a CDH player will do something terrible over the course of a year, that's like predicting that the sun's going to rise.
It might not.
There's just some things that, really, they're just going to happen.
We're such bullies, man.
Well, you could say that about any Magic player, too, I think. It's fair. Something's going to happen.
Yep. Notice how we're not singling out individuals. We would never do that, right, Eli? We would never talk about any specific content creators.
Well,
we would never single anybody out.
Yeah, I can't
we
really...
We have been. That's the joke.
I don't think, aside from Bad Dog, I don't really know if I know any CDH content creators, like prominent ones, that I think would be the problem actors. Like, I know people that like might be involved or like might be somehow like victimized by something. All I can say about, like, to end this out, like with the CDH player thing, if any of you sweaty fucking nerds, if you make Louis Stardust cry again, there's gonna be hell to pay. EDHTakes will ride against the CDH community in force.
Do you want to explain the lore?
So I think it was last year or the year before. There was a CDH event. It's very... If you've ever been to a Magic event or like a competitive Magic event, man, the environment's terrible. It's super hot there. There's way too many people. And especially for like competitive CDH, man, I cannot imagine a worse time like doing that like actually competitively. And so she was playing in a game. And it gets pretty high pressure there, and like the stakes are kind of high, and like you got everyone, all these nerds like not understanding like spatial boundaries, getting like way too close to you, trying to spectate, and like spectating's fine, but you got like, imagine you're like doing like a competitive Magic thing and you've got like 30 people like surrounding your table.
You can't even like see anything around you.
God, that would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So she was having a bad time at an event, and nobody necessarily, I don't think, like, did anything like that bad to her. Like, maybe there was an opponent that was kind of...
rude or something, I don't know.
Like, not the nicest, which, like, doesn't... But, again, it's, like, a competitive event, so, like I said, if you've ever been to, like, a competitive Magic event, like, even, like, a pre-release, like, you play against some people who are just, like, not fun to interact with.
Yeah. Like,
the game can still be fun, but, like, they're just, like, not there to, like, be friendly with you.
They're not there to help you or whatever, or be supportive all the time.
Yeah, so, it can lead to some bad feelings and stuff, so, she just got a little overwhelmed. I think, man, I would cry even at the pre-release,
Yeah.
I would see one Magic player across the table from me, and I'd be like, oh, I can't handle this right now.
That sounds fair.
Like, so she, a lot tougher than I am.
Usually what makes me cry at the Magic events is the smell. That's usually what gets me. And it's like it's not like crying from like, it's like my eyes water because like someone has onion pits.
One of my worst experiences at a pre-release was, There was this person I was playing with, and they smelled really, really bad. And so I was in my like hater nature. Like, I'm not a mean person by nature, I don't think, but I was like really like upset and it was like crowded and like hot in there, and like I was just in a bad mood. And this person smelled so fucking bad that I was like, I've got to say something. Like, I just like, this is like really bad. And then I started playing with them. One of the nicest Magic players I ever met, and I was immediately like, I'm a freaking asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm such a piece of shit.
I can relate to something like that.
They're
that
so
sort of
nice.
counts.
Such a good... And, if somebody smells that bad, they probably got a condition or something. So, like, you shouldn't be that mad at, like... it's a stereotype about, like, Magic players. But, like, really, like, if somebody smells, like... If they smell like they're dead, there's probably something else going on.
Yeah. They might actually be dead.
Yeah, they might be a reanimated corpse that some other Magic player... like
some necromancer in the back has them.
I think CDH players might, like, have the power of necromancy. What do you think?
Yeah, are you familiar with Tales Gets Trolled?
Oh, I don't think I am.
Okay. It was some webcomic from back in the day where this is a tangent that doesn't matter, but the point is Porky Pig ate the brains of people and then could, like, reanimate them as puppets.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, that's what and it's like a dark, like, Satan power. So that's what CDH players do.
You feel like our friend of the show Bradley, do you think he, like, knows the dark arts?
No, he probably knows more about the defense against the dark arts. He's like
he is a force for good. Yeah.
He's like a Professor Quirrell, but, like, without the Voldemort part.
He's very magical.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's a very mystical person. Like, he's delving into powers that he shouldn't. But I trust him.
Do you think we'll ever get a Harry Potter set in Commander?
Dude, I'm gonna throw that prediction in here. Harry Potter, do you think that
would go? That would go
over so poorly.
That would break.
That would create such a schism.
The internet, bro. The internet would go crazy.
I think
that would actually be. Really...
I think modern Hasbro would try it. I think they would do it. I think the new, like, Magic, like, business model is it's okay if we lose 100 in franchise players as long as we gain 1,000 more. Yeah. Right? Like,
bro, that would be insane, though. Oh my god, I'm just trying to think about, like, that would.
Let's throw that one in our predictions. Let's see if they announce that in the next couple of years.
Based. Anyway, I think that's most of our predictions we have here, right? Eli, you got anything else you want to share about predictions?
I just want to say I not mean to be so aggressive going down this list with people, but it's all in good fun. Like, we're not trying to be mean to anybody. I hope that we didn't come across as, like, bullying people. The type of CDH players that we're making fun of, I want everyone to know that they actually have done really terrible things that we fully condemn. Like I was saying, like, I like drama like most people do, but I really do not want CDH players doing terrible things to people going into the year. Like,
it's a hot take there, Eli.
Yeah, it's
the kind of takes that you can known us for, right? EDHTakes here.
I'm kind of a really good person. Like I said earlier, I'm an empath. When people are sad, I'm sad. When they're happy, I'm happy.
Sexual misconduct, bad.
Yeah, we would like to come out and condemn all forms of that.
Yeah, for the most part. Anyway, I'd like to make an apology to Krim and Spike Feeders Alex and Pleasant Kenobi. I'm sorry.
I'd like to retract that apology to Pleasant Kenobi.
Well, I would like to make this apology. I'm going to say I apologize that we didn't say anything sooner, so that you can get well. I'm just kidding. But like Eli was saying, this podcast is all in good fun. We're haters. Don't take everything too seriously.
I would like to try to be less of a hater going forward.
Eli.
I just thought it would be a fun return to form because I wanted to remind us of the glory days of EDHTakes.
I don't know how many of you guys remember the lore of EDHTakes because we can barely remember it too, but I think it was in our second year of EDHTakes. Is this our fourth year or our third year? I don't even know.
This is the fourth year.
The fourth year. In our second year, I believe, we had a New Year's resolution that we talked about at the start of the start of the podcast, where we were like, we're renouncing our hater attitudes, and this is the year of goodwill and being positive. And then the joke was that we did that for like 2 episodes, then went back to being a hater, and that was
and then
it was a good bit.
Look what it did to us. The next year, we only got 2 podcasts out because of that.
Yeah. So prediction this year, last prediction, Eli, I got is EDHTakes will put out more than 12 episodes this year. Based.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
We can do it. We're on a decent schedule so far, I think.
Yes, sir. What's one in January? There you go.
Spencer, you got any New Year's resolutions for the channel?
I'd like to become a superstar. I want to be a household name. I want I want Josh Lee Kwai to put up a shrine of me in the office. I think they just moved to a new office, so I think they might have space for that.
I also want Spencer Cook to be a Commander or Magic the Gathering household name.
Like I was saying earlier, I think having more consistent videos, obviously it's something we say every time, is that we want to make different kinds of content, but it is hard to be motivated to do things because Eli sucks about doing things.
How dare. I would not know.
I'm just kidding, Eli.
I'm the most consistent and hardworking person. I'm definitely not incredibly lazy. But I was telling you earlier today that I had this weird surge of motivation to work on the channel. And I think I kind of still feel that. I'm feeling good about things this year.
Also, everybody, there will be a return of a tier list video coming soon. I don't want to spoil what the topic is, but there will be a tier list coming up within the next couple weeks. I'm promising that now.
Yeah, my main resolution for going into the new year, aside from consistent work schedule, like forming, like my personal New Year's resolution is not anything like sweeping or grand. I just want to start forming more habits in my life. Ideally healthy ones, but I think just like having like some consistency in your life and just like having a schedule to things is good for people. Again, like crazy hot take, but like I'm just trying to do like small things every day, like consistently, just being more consistent. But my channel resolution would probably be to overall just try and reach out, collaborate, and network more with other content creators. Mm-hmm. We've talked about maybe reaching out to PJ of Commander Replay for an interview, like do a podcast with him. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I think we had talks earlier about, in the past, years ago, about reaching out to a couple other people as well. So we never really did it. So maybe we should try to reach out to people.
Yeah, why not? The worst they can say is no.
Well,
or I heard what you said about me. I don't ever want you to talk to me again.
Or you. I actually do have a New Year's resolution. Okay, so as I mentioned at the start of the podcast, I did get laid off just recently this week, but I'm handling it pretty well. But my New Year's resolution is to try to make a handle of liquor last more than a couple days following my my loss of my job. So there we go. That's my resolution.
We're entering the drunk podcast arc.
Yeah, alcoholism. Woo!
But I would also like to try and make friends with Jake Boss from the Command Zone.
I like to make friends with Jake Boss from the Command Zone. You like that, Eli? You like that little bit I did where I just repeated what you said? Because I couldn't think of anything to say. This is what happens at the end of the episode, guys.
It's a good resolution.
Yeah. Jake Boss is cool. I think we could bond over Bionicles.
Yeah, he likes Bionicles. He likes the band Sturfucker, if you've ever heard of that band. It's like STRFKR.
Mm-hmm.
So, pronounce it as you will.
Yeah.
I feel like him and I are like kindred souls, and he could be like my in to like get in with the Command Zone.
Eli, if you were a McDonald's animated figure, which one would you be?
Like one of the mascots?
Yeah.
Man, it's tempting to say Grimace, but I mean, I don't think he's well.
No, he is. You do try to poison people. That is something that you're known to do.
Yeah, that's true. I'd want to be one of the Fry Kids, because then I don't have to be in like half the cartoons.
I think I'm Ronald McDonald.
That's a good one.
Because I'm always serving everyone up a helping of beef.
He's the leader.
Yeah.
He's the most powerful.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this episode. Please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to, and comment. We'd like to hear what you say.
Hey, follow us on Twitter at EDHTakes, so that when I ask Magic Twitter a question about an upcoming video, somebody can respond to me, so I'm not just talking to nobody, because we only have like 30 followers right now. And I promise I'll respond to you after like a week.
I think we could, if we did have people that engage with our Twitter, we could incorporate it into our podcast we could do like an ask the fans kind of thing for for a question or something like that, and we talk about it.
Oh, that'd be a great episode. I'd love to do that if we could get like enough people to actually.
So
talk
after
to us.
this comes out, I will post a tweet, and we'll see if anybody responds. If nobody responds, the next episode will not have anything, and I'll just allude to it and be depressed. Okay, so you have to go and ask a question.
But you can also reach us here at the channel. Just leave a comment on the video.
That works too,
you know?
yeah.
Like you said, like and subscribe. Like tell your friends. I always go up and like tell people in person, especially when we're together. I always go up to people and I'm like, hey, did you know that Spencer has a Magic podcast? He loves it. Makes him feel so good.
One thing that I love to do when I'm hanging out with my friends is I'd be like, oh my god, wait, is that Elijah Samuelson from the EDHTakes podcast? Holy shit. What the... Wait, you're here? Yeah. It's very embarrassing for them, and it's very funny.
Oh, we love it.
We love it. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you soon.
See you soon.